there was a story that came out the other day that the James Comer investigation. Well, is this the? I'm confused. Is this the? Is this the government abuse of its power committee, or is this the just we're going to the Hunter Biden dick pic committee?
So Comer is more of the dick pic committee because he's the oversight chair, and then Jim Jordan does the weaponization of the government subcommittee for the Judiciary Committee. But they're pretty in lockstep, you know.
We're now, I mean, geez. We're now 6 months into, 5 months into, I guess, the congressional term of the Republicans. I mean, maybe they're trying to keep their powder dry, but they are having a very, very tough time trying to get a corruption story about Joe Biden. Remember, according to these people, that had America seen the contours of Hunter Biden's sexual organ, Donald Trump will be president now. And so they've been going full force. Like, where is the laptop stuff? They have the laptop, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they say, yeah. But
why aren't they releasing all the damning stuff here?
Right.
Well, it's too late now. It was supposed to be released for the 2020 election.
And James Comer always says the media has a laptop.
Just assume it's really important.
Listen, when you are the chair of this committee and you have a blockbuster story of Biden family members making money at jobs, and Fox and Friends are the ones to put a dampen on it, you know you've got a problem. Here's James Comer yesterday morning on Fox and Friends.
I know the Republicans said that the smoking gun were these financial records that you were able to subpoena and got your hands on. They show that some of the president's relatives were paid more than $10 million from foreign sources between 2015 and 2017. And your party, the Republican investigators, say that that's proof of influence peddling by Hunter and James. But that's just your suggestion. You don't actually have any facts to that point. You've got some circumstantial evidence. And the other thing is, of all those names, the one person who didn't profit is there's no evidence that Joe Biden did anything illegally.
Well, if you look at the laptop and the emails between the president's son and his associates, they went to great lengths to hide Joe's involvement. They even gave him nicknames. They called him the Celtic and the big guy. But make no mistake, Joe Biden was involved. All these countries that the Bidens were receiving money from were countries that Joe Biden was actively visiting in. Many of these countries were receiving foreign aid that Joe Biden volunteered with the Obama administration to be in charge of. We look now at the Biden presidency. Many of the decisions he's made with respect to China that I would argue put China first and America last would leave most Americans scratching their head. Why would any president do this? So we know that the complexity of the way the Bidens set these shell companies up were made to try to disguise not only the money they were receiving, but also Joe's involvement. So we're at the very beginning stages of this, but in talking with the informants that we have, some of the former Biden associates that nobody's heard from yet, we know that Joe Biden was actively involved, and we're still looking for more bank records that we believe will implicate Joe Biden's active participation in this at the end of the day.
He set up 20 different...
I mean, not quite the bombshell that he thought that it would produce. Certainly, if Joe Biden is getting kickbacks from other countries, we should hear about this. And frankly, I am totally in favor of some type of legislation involving nepotism and people trading off of the names of their famous parents or their powerful parents, like their father-in-laws, let's say, or their fathers. I think that would be a very good thing. I'm not sure how you would structure that, but I am all in favor of, and also probably would help to have that 95% tax if they're getting millions. Here is Ron Johnson with the same dilemma that his friend in the House of Representatives, James Comer, has, which is you got to sort of use your imagination for some of the big parts of this.
Listen, it's very similar to the $4 million that Hunter Biden got out of Burisma, out of Ukraine. Those, the same fact pattern, the same type of pattern. And let's face it, the bank records aren't going to show bribe in exchange for this foreign policy change. But we know that President Biden lied to America when he said he never discussed Hunter's overseas business deals. We know he lied when he said that Hunter never made money off of China. Hunter made millions of dollars off of China. So we know that Biden has lied repeatedly to the American public on this very issue. These things look sleazy. There's all kinds of conflict of interest. We're going to have to infer an awful lot, and we're going to need more bank records.
Let's take a listen to Vice.
We're going to have to infer a lot.
Meanwhile, all the Supreme Court justices are getting caught with like giant transactions, like basically that much. Like,
but we will have to infer an awful lot about whether Biden is in bed with China.
It's amazing, and I like how they sort of just throw in 2017 into there. All these payments are from 2015 to 2017. They really missed the boat with Hunter Biden.
Seriously.
I mean, maybe you might want to do those payments like in 2008. At the beginning of the Biden administration, or I should say the Obama administration, where Joe Biden supposedly had all these abilities to change the
or maybe in fact it was more valuable to Hunter after, because his dad had the prestige to go peddle his name.
Exactly. I mean, let's be clear. That's what's going on here. I don't know that Hunter Biden was qualified to do anything other than walk into a room and go, that's Joe Biden's son.
He was just vice president.
Yes, and imply, like, I mean, we see this all the time. We see this all the time. Daughters, sons of famous politicians get jobs on television or become, lobbyists. I'm sure Hunter Biden had exposure to a lot of people he had relationships with and can walk in and show that he has this big Rolodex. And yes, is that corrupt? Yes, I think it is. But I think we see it all over Washington, D.C., including, I'm sure, with James Comer's kids.
That's politics as usual.
I am all in favor of the statutes that say you cannot trade on your family's name. Sorry, Saul and Mila. You won't be able to go out and milk this for everything that you can.
House Republicans going after Mila Cedars' Depop account.